I'm Angela Guido, the founder of MBA Protocol, a career coach, very important for today's video, an MBA coach, and someone who is genuinely committed to your success. And I take a really specific definition of what success is. It doesn't mean that you necessarily get into business school. It doesn't mean that you necessarily get any job that you think you want or that you think is important for you to get. It means that you are fully satisfied, fulfilled, and expressed in your work life, in your career, in the time that you spend giving to others, which is really what work is. I'm committed to your success in that endeavor, and having that endeavor be meaningful to you, fulfilling, and fully expressing your potential and your purpose, whatever that may be. So today, I'm gonna tell you why you should go to business school. I think the favorite video of our subscribers that we've ever made was a video in which I said, don't go to business school if this is you. And so if you've been hanging around this channel for any amount of time, you know that I am entirely agnostic about whether you go to business school or not. Most people should not go to business school. And for the ones that the MBA achieves a certain goal, which I'm going to talk to you about today, you really should go. And that is, of course, the major reason why this channel exists, is so that we can help you achieve that goal if you're someone who really should be pursuing an MBA. So today I'm going to help you figure out if you're one of those people, if you're one of those people who really should be pursuing an MBA. And so I'll just cut right to the chase. I've already sort of alluded to the one reason why you should go to business school, if in fact you're in the should category. And that reason is you want to be a better steward of your own talents and gifts. And that entails being a leader in some capacity. So the MBA degree, as I've said many times before, should really not be considered an end in and of itself. It's extremely expensive. It's an education, which means it's moving you towards some kind of different future. But otherwise, if it's not leading you towards some kind of better future that you actually want to have, then it's really a waste of money and resources. If you just want to learn stuff about business, you can do that on the internet. You can do it in books. You can just talk to people who know more than you and learn that way. You can learn on the job. There's so many different ways to get a lot of what is taught in MBA curricula for significantly less money and even, frankly, less time. So if you're going to business school, the reason to do it isn't because you want to go back to school or because you want to just have that degree or that stamp on your passport. If you graduate from business school, you will appreciate having that stamp on your passport. But before you apply, it's not enough of a reason to go, because you can get all of those signals of status and information and knowledge elsewhere. Likewise, if you want to expand your network, there are tons of cheaper, even free, better ways to build a robust professional network than to go to business school. And even if you go to business school, you're not exactly building a network unless you're doing the same work to cultivate mutually beneficial friendships. Just because you went to school, the same school that a person went to, doesn't mean that that person is going to root for you, that they're going to help you, that they're going to do you a favor, that they're going to reply to your email, unless you went to Tuck. If you went to Tuck, then if you email an alum, they will email you back within 24 hours. We've heard from our clients that this rule of thumb does tend to hold at Tuck. But across the board, no one is going to be obligated to help or support you or advance your goals just because you have the same brand name on your resume. It might make it more likely that they will reply to your email if it's a cold email shot across the bow, as opposed to, if you didn't have the same brand on your resume, but it doesn't engender trust. It doesn't engender like a willingness to contribute to your success. All of that has to come from rich personal relationships that you've got to build yourself. And you can do that at business school, but you can also do it at conferences, at workshops, on LinkedIn. You can build your network in any number of different ways. So I've described now the primary benefits and components of an MBA program. Oh yeah, and then there's the last one, which is access to recruiting opportunities that you likely would have a hard time getting without an advanced degree and potentially specifically without an MBA. Now we're starting to get at really the one reason that you should go to business school if you fit into this category. And your goal is really to love your life, right? You don't want anything in your career for any other reason than that you think it's going to make you happier. You know, you don't want goals that you think are going to make you feel bad. Everything you're going for is because you want more fulfillment, more joy, more satisfaction. And what joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment look like to you are different from what they look like to everyone else. So self-awareness is always on the table. But whatever it is that's going to bring you joy, satisfaction, and fulfillment in your career has something to do with expressing your unique potential through your work life. It's about taking the talents and abilities that you have and applying them to human problems in a way that benefits people beyond your immediate circle and beyond yourself. It's about making a contribution. Fulfillment comes from that place. So if you are someone who has an ambitious vision for impact and contribution, or even if you have a desire to be the best version of yourself as a working contributor to any objective, and you may have a really specific objective that you care about, or you may not. You may just really want to be a more effective agent of change wherever you go, then you should seriously consider getting an MBA. Whether you want to work in the government, in the nonprofit sector, in the social impact sector, or in the corporate sector, or even in entrepreneurship, the MBA can help you be a more effective steward of your own gifts to have a bigger impact in your career. It by no means is a necessary step for you to find fulfillment through your career, nor is it a sufficient step for you to find fulfillment in your career. A great metaphor I like to use here is that the MBA is a train ticket that can get you to where you want to go. But first, you have to know what the destination is. You have to know what is the direction that you want to move to have an impact in your career. Because for some destinations, the MBA will be a distraction. It will be the wrong move. The second thing to understand is that the MBA is not the train ride itself. It's not the thing that's going to move you from point A to point B. You are going to move yourself from point A to point B. What the MBA does is it gives you a ticket on that journey. It allows you to immerse yourself in a community of people who share your ambitions, to learn from a variety of different angles how to make change happen, how to lead, how to do things effectively, how to think more clearly, how to understand how the world works through the lens of capitalism and economics and business. It gives you an avenue, a pathway to achieve much more in your career in the long term than could potentially otherwise be possible without an MBA. So as you're contemplating the MBA decision, you do want to think about, what are you going to do with your MBA network? How are you going to learn on campus, and what are the things that are going to be important to you? What are the job opportunities that you're going to pursue after your MBA that's going to enable you to continue or to leapfrog on your personal path? But how to ultimately decide if you really should be applying to business school, or if some of the virtually infinite other pathways to learning and growing and developing and expanding your impact is a better choice for you, the place to look is in your desire to fulfill your own potential. If you have a burning ambition inside you to be used up and to contribute as much as you can in your career to the problems that matter to you and to the rest of humanity, then the MBA can be a huge benefit to you on that road. And otherwise, it's just an expensive 2-year vacation with a lot of classes. So think about that as you are moving along on your MBA journey. If you do decide that an MBA is right for you, then I hope to see you right here next week, again, on MBA Monday. See you next time.